This is just a quick, short 90-90 sequence to get into the hip internal and external rotation. Great to do daily. So we're going to come into a 90-90 position. So again, modify as you need. Maybe those feet need to come in. Maybe you kickstand out to the side. Maybe just elevating your hips on a pillow or two. Okay, so 90-90 position, you're going to turn your navel towards that front leg. Kinetic stretching, we're going to shift forward, pulling the leg up, and then driving the leg down to come out of it. Lifting the leg to shift forward, driving the leg down to come up. Lift to shift, finding your end range, driving to come up, trying not to compensate, driving to come up, okay? And then we're going to drive back upright. Okay, you're going to sink your back hip towards the floor, moving into a stretch and internal rotation. Squeeze the glute to come out of it. Sink your hip towards the floor, drive forward to come out. Sink to the floor, drive forward, sink, trying to rotate deep in that hip joint. So the femur is rotating in the hip socket. And then we're going to hold forward. Kickstand out slightly. You're just going to try and lift that back foot without moving your pelvis. Lift and lower, lift and lower. We'll do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And then you'll just rotate with control over the other side. The feet stay planted, the knees just rotate. And then we're going to dynamically stretch forward. So kinetic stretching. Lift to shift forward, drive down to come up. I'm using the strength of my leg. I'm not moving my spine. It might look like I'm doing the work with my spine, but it's actually the hip joint that's pulling me forward, or the work of the muscles surrounding the hip joint to come forward and to come back upright. 1 more, lift to shift and drive down to come up. Okay, we're going to sink that back hip towards the floor, moving into internal rotation, and then squeeze the glute to drive forward. Sink the hip and drive forward. 3, 2, and last one. And then you're going to kickstand out slightly, stabilize the hip, try and lift that back foot and lower. So working from the outer hip, moving that leg into internal rotation. And 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then open the legs up, draw your feet together, and then find yourself in this butterfly stretch, trying to hinge from the hip, lengthen your spine forward, drawing the knees towards the floor to just open up the inner thighs, open up and stretch into that hip joint. So it's just a great little quick sequence that you can do every day if you have a few minutes. Incorporate it in whenever you get the chance.